So I actually partly got this idea from a comment that somebody put on my video. It was something about how, I don't know, some business he did or a relative of his. The business was just very, very simple. And I think a lot of the times, like, the what average person thinks of as like a quote unquote business is like really funny to me, because they think that you have to have some like crazy innovative idea or something, like some crazy app, or you have to come up with some like crazy new product that's like genius and innovative, and then you have to get the product made. But really, like, being an entrepreneur or like doing business is usually just like the most boring, simple thing, and then you just come up with a system to make that thing more streamlined, or hire other people to do a lot of it for you, so that it just becomes like a money-making machine, basically. But so if you look at, like, I think that most really wealthy people, or like the majority of the wealth in the US, was made from real estate. And real estate is like the most boring, simple thing ever. Like, all it is either like most of it is buying properties or getting properties built, investing in them, and then just renting them out or reselling them, or a combination of both. Like, it's super boring. Just buildings, basically. That's all it is. And like a lot of other business too, like I was looking at I was learning about the YouTube automation that is a big thing now. And I was looking into like how it's made, and a lot of it is just, it's like way more boring than you think of being a YouTuber. Like, usually when people thinking of being a YouTuber, you think of more like what I'm doing, where you're the face on the camera, and then you get like a lot of fame out of it. But the YouTube automation, these people are seeing it more as a business, and they're doing faceless channels, and they're just hiring people to do everything for them, and it's way more boring. Like, it's not fame. Mainly what they're doing is just coming up with the video ideas. They're watching a lot of YouTube, studying a ton of YouTube to figure out like what niches are going to be good, to figure out like what videos that they can make that will go viral. And they're mainly coming up with the ideas, and then they're managing like a team to do everything for them. So they're hiring a writer to write the script, and then they're hiring someone to edit it, and like, it could be a separate person, but they hire somebody to find all the footage and stick it together. And then they hire someone to make the thumbnails, and then they hire someone to do the voiceover, or a lot of them use AI voices too, which is even more boring. They're just using a program, and then just throwing the script into the AI, into the program that does the AI voice. And then what they do is they just make, the dudes that I saw, they had like 20 channels, and they just do this with all the channels. And they're probably hiring other managers and stuff. Like, the more channels that they have, I imagine the more people that they hire. But basically, they probably just started kind of one channel on their own, was learning it on their own, and then started hiring people as they made more money, and then just building it up to where really what they're doing is they're just sort of like a producing, or like a media company. And they just have a system of how they can make these viral videos, because they've done it a bunch of times, and now they can make new channels and do it over and over and over again. Super, super simple. Like, there's not really any fame involved. They're not the ones on camera. And it's stuff like this. This is how like business is. Like, the thing that I was most successful at is I basically just had like a rental car business. Like, it was very, very small, but like, that's something super boring, and it's something that a million other people that have done before, right? Like, there's huge companies that are rental car businesses. I use the app called Turo to do it, which is, if you don't know what it is, it works exactly how Airbnb works, but with cars. And there's a million people that did Turo. All I did was just copy what everyone else is doing. Somebody told me about Turo, and then I learned a lot about how to do Turo on YouTube. I already had a bunch of car knowledge, and the way that I was able to be successful with that was because I had bought and sold a bunch of cars before, and I also learned how to repair cars myself. And basically, I was pretty much doing all the work myself. I didn't get to where I was hiring out much, But basically all I was doing was just cleaning cars, sending a few messages to like organize when the people would pick them up and stuff. And then just when the cars needed to fix, I do like oil changes, and I drive the cars to go get the tire change and stuff like that. Super, super boring. Like there's nothing original in the idea of the business. There's nothing creative about it really at all. There's nothing special. And the thing that made it good and easy was like once I got more cars and I had like a system down to where it took a minimal amount of my time to message the people and set up the trips. I had a lot of the stuff automated, and there are people that did what I did. I only got up to like 8 cars, but there are people on Turo that have scaled it up to like 100 cars or even more, having a full business like that. And they're hiring people and they're just automating it more like that. There are also people that were doing pretty much everything in their own, like me. I've seen them on YouTube that did like, I saw one guy that did like 30 cars or something close to that all by himself. And it was just because his system of doing like the key handoff process and everything was just so streamlined that he was able to make that work. And just like me, the way he was doing it, maybe he was a little, I wouldn't really call it creativity. It's just he got more cars and just figured out a way to do it on his own. Like there's really nothing creative about it. There's nothing fancy at all with the business idea. It's like you see stuff on, I don't know, like on TV where they have these crazy, like what's their show called, like Shark Tank, where they have those crazy ideas like that and the super innovative shit. But like in reality, barely any of business is like that at all. Like somebody really wealthy could just own maybe it's like a axle import business. Like they just import axles for like 18 wheelers or something like that. Like someone owns that business and is getting rich off it. You know what I mean? What's up, man? How you doing? Oh shit. Oh dude. Anyway, I don't remember where I was. I ran into a guy that I met here when I visited here in January. It was crazy too. I was literally just thinking about him like today or yesterday. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, you get the gist of it. And so the thing is like when you think of a business, like don't think that you have to think of anything exciting or original. Like literally just copy what other people have already done or are doing. And this is what most people who really just want, have a more business mindset and a mindset to make money do. Whereas people who want to like, save the world or something like that, or have like a real purpose, maybe they'll have, like Elon Musk, for example, has kind of like these crazy businesses, but that's because his like mission isn't to make money. He's doing something different. But if you just want to make money and you have like a business mindset, just copy what other people do and what's already proven to be successful. You don't need to like reinvent the wheel or anything like that. And the truth is like, no matter what your business is, like you're gonna just have to do a bunch of mundane tasks that are boring anyway. And it's another thing, like don't try to jump around to do like everything at once. You just gotta stick to one thing and make that work and make a system work. And if you do that, like that's how most wealthy people start out. They don't start out, people say that you start out with like 5 streams of income, or that you want like 5 streams of income, or that, I guess there's a quote, the average person has like 5 streams of income. But the way they start out is they just started out with one thing and they got really, really good at that one thing and scaled it up. And then once they have too much money, they start investing in other things to make their income more safe, to have a broader portfolio.